today I want to check in. This is actually a PCOS update, which you knew that with the title. So pretty much what I am on my way to now, or what am I? I'm on my way to my doctor's office now because I have to talk about, or actually no, I have 2 questions, and it's also my checkup. Well, one of my questions is when my labor process with KJ, he had the cord. For those of you that don't know, let me back up. So, I was induced or whatever with KJ, and I ended up having a C-section after 12 hours of labor because he wasn't moving down, and I didn't dilate beyond 6 centimeters. Okay, so once they performed the C-section, they found that KJ did have the cord wrapped around his neck and his feet, so he wasn't coming down anyway. So, the healing process of my C-section, one, I can feel, like, I know you're poking me because I know you're poking me, but if my eyes was closed, I really couldn't feel the sensation of you touching me. And then 2, I do have keloid skin, which is crazy that none of my tattoos have ever keloid, but my C-section scar, which granted this is a cut, my C-section scars, however, it has a keloid on it. So I do call it my rope, because to me that's what it looks like, feel like. So that's my next question of, with the amount of scar tissue that I have on the outside, granted she may not be able to tell me until, the next baby actually comes, does it pretty much put me at risk of just being one who will need C-sections? So that's one of my major questions. And then 2, we'll talk about, getting pregnant for the second time again around. And then the third thing was, last month I literally had a cycle every Friday. Like, no kidding. In the month of June, every Friday I had a cycle. So, and I was on birth control, which is supposed to regulate you and all that other good stuff, but every Friday I had a cycle. So at that point, I chunked the birth control in the trash and I was done with it, and I haven't had a cycle since. But in my mind, I made up for lost time apparently, because I had one every Friday. It would be on for 3 days, go off and come right back on Friday like clockwork, and I had a attitude the entire month of June. Okay, so those are the questions that I have for her, and we'll just see how it goes. So I got my glasses back on. I'm driving for real now, so I can't record without my glasses on. But, so my doctor visit was awesome. Okay? My doctor was nice. Like, y'all, I mean, usually she's quick. She's, kind of smart mouth. And I know you're probably thinking, well, if she's all of that, then why would you want her to be your doctor? Because sis is the best, okay? So you put up with the best. And I've had 4 friends were pregnant with me during my last pregnancy, and all of us had her, and we had the same opinion, like, hold up, bitch, don't get these hands because your mouth too damn slick, okay? Excuse my language, but don't get these hands, girl. But today, baby girl was good. I mean, she was nice. I'm pretty sure she wrote down good notes in her chart, but she was very, what's the word I'm looking for? She could relate to me. Like, she was good. She was even like, girl, did you lose some weight? Like, you look a little slimmer than, girl, I did. You see it, girl. Thank you. Okay. So, now that we're over that piece, how did my visit go today? So, I had a bunch of questions because, like I said before, we're interested in, not interested, I shouldn't say it like it's a transaction, but we're we're gonna have another baby, or gonna try to have another baby next year, Don't know when exactly in next year, but next year. So for me, I wanted to see what my process would be like, things that I need to know, what do I need to do, things of that nature. Well, she was I didn't ask it like that, so we're gonna go down question by question. So one of the first questions that I had was I had gestational diabetes the last time when I was pregnant, and being that I had gestational diabetes, I requested, or at 39 weeks, when I went to my doctor's appointment, like, y'all, I'm gonna insert this picture in here at 38 weeks, how huge I was for me. Not even exaggerating. But at 38 weeks, I went to my doctor's appointment, and she said good morning, and I was like, it'll be a better morning if you give me an end date. Like, cuz had to go. I was big. These stretch marks start rising on me, and I was like, get cuz out. We done. And because I had gestational diabetes, they typically don't want you to carry past 39 weeks. Well, hunty, ma'am told me that, and I was like, book my room today. Like, book me. And she said, well, next week, I'll be back. Don't worry about it. 39 weeks. Get sir out the belly. I'm done. I was done. So I know I'm being really dramatic, but we talked about that, and I said, well, for the next baby, I prefer not to be induced. So I have one or two things. One, because I had gestational diabetes, if I have gestational diabetes again, then I need to deliver by 39 weeks. Or I'm not going to say by, but, they could probably try to push me to 40 if I want to try the extra week. But it's safer to go ahead and get the baby out at 39. This is me, not her, okay? This is me recapping to you guys the conversation that she and I had, okay? Talk to your doctor, because I am not a doctor at all. But that was the conversation that she and I had. And then the second thing was, because I had a C-section the last time, I cannot be induced again. Say it again. I cannot be induced again, because the medication that they give you in order to induce labor, being that I had a C-section, it would be a risk for me to attempt to do that because of the incision on my uterus. So it's either gonna be natural labor or C-section. And when I say natural, I mean I'm all down for trying without any medication, because that's what I did before. And any epidural, because I don't want to say medication, but without an epidural. But if that does not work, i.e. cis gave in, I'm gonna give in again. My birthing plan was to not have a birthing plan. The only plan I had was, after 12 hours of labor, I was done, and I wasn't about to do that any longer than 12 hours. 12 hours, that's it, that's all. Okay, that was it. She capped out at that, and that was a whole nother thing. Okay, so I was like, oh, I didn't want to be induced with the next baby, but at the same time, now I don't have a choice. Before I did. So another issue that I had was, again, poking my belly. I can't tell that you're not my belly, but my C-section area, poking it, I can't feel you poking it. Okay? The only reason how I know you're poking me is because I'm looking at you. If I close my eyes, I don't get that sensation. So she was pretty much like, which I already knew that whenever you have any type of cutting, surgery, what have you, it cuts the nerves. Nerves do not grow back. So that's what it was. My nerves, they made the small ones can start back to function again. But if I have a second C-section, then probably not. That will probably just be numb. So that was the second thing. And then one of the third thing was, which it may intertwine with the second thing, I do have keloid skin. So I did end up keloiding, even though her incision and sewing it back, whatever you want to say, closing up the wound, however you want to put it, it was perfect. It was beautiful, you know, right after I had KJ. But my skin, however, keloid. And she did tell me that what she will end up doing if I have another C-section is removing the top layer of, like, removing the keloid in itself and, you know, closing the wound back up again. But again, it's that possibility that it can grow back. And I'm not worried about the growing back part, but ain't nobody about to be walking around with 3 ropes trying to represent how many babies I got. I'm sorry. I'm good. Count the heads, not the scars. Okay? So that was a cool process. Then we talked about, you know, would I contact her when we're ready to try again? How does she want me to do it? Because my original doctor has retired, and so she's not the one who started me off on my journey. And we talked about it, and she said if I want to start trying for a baby on my own, I can. But if I want to go ahead and use the medication or get the medication, then that's an option for me as well. So we'll see. I mean, I would love to try it and see if I naturally get pregnant, but if not, then I'm not opposed to it, because that's how we conceived KJ. So that was one. And then, you know, just that I need to eat right. And we talked about birth control. I did ask for a prescription to be called in for birth control, because I'm not quite ready to have another baby. I want another baby, but I'm not mentally prepared for another baby. Okay? Like, sometimes you gotta know your strengths and weaknesses, and I know mine. I'm still moving and mixing and trying to figure it out with my one. If it happens, it happens, and I just have to grow with the cause. But right now, I prefer, let me do this pregnancy option in 2019. I want to enjoy me right now and KJ, and I want him to be a baby as long as he can. Not necessarily a baby, but a baby in the sense of, let me go to Walmart. A baby in the sense of being the young one or the only child in the house at the moment. Because once we have another baby, that's gone. Like, you'll still have the love and the spoil and all of that good stuff there, but I just want him to enjoy himself as being a child, where all the attention is on him and he loves it. But I'm getting off track. So those are the things that we covered, and all in all, I had a great appointment. I'm super duper excited. I'm not stressed with the thought of, you know, questions that I had, fears, you know, none of that stuff. I'm not, but I will go in, and I'm trying to really eat healthy so it doesn't, and it still could. I was about to say, so I don't have gestational diabetes again, but that doesn't mean that, because you can eat healthy and still get it. So, but the other thing was, I don't want to get type 2 diabetes, because I'm at risk for that, being that I had gestational diabetes. So, I'd rather do the gestational, because that's when I'm pregnant, and then after I drop the baby, I'm done with it. But, you know, we'll see. But I just want to give you guys a quick update on how my doctor's appointment went today. Everything was great. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching.